Hey everyone, this is Robert and welcome to the Psychic Times. And this is going to be my first video on a segment that I'm going to be doing about tarot. Tarot is my specialty and the cards tell us so much. So what I've decided to do is break down the first 22 major arcana into two groups of 11. Because if you look at it, you'll find something very interesting. You have the first card, the Fool. He's open, he's free, he's wandering, he's aimless. He has faith in everything outside of him, God, spirit, whatnot. And he's just heading off, and sometimes he runs off a cliff. The second card in the tarot is called the Magician. He has faith in himself, he's strong, he's in control, he's willed. Alright? Master of his own destiny. And the cards repeat this duality as we go through them. Openness, control. Faith in God, faith in self. In the Fool's bag there he's carrying are all the tools on the Magician's table. See what's happening here? They're dualities. And so it continues through on the next 20 cards. You'll have the Priestess, then you'll have the Empress. They're two feminine aspects. One's more inner, the other's more outer. And that's what's happening here. The Fool usually is represented by the element of air. In alchemy, it's alchemical mercury. The colors on the card mean something too. Pay attention. Yellow is usually about the mind. Blue is about openness and this clarity. The sun is all about clarity. See how the sun's white? Okay, the little dog there, he's like the Fool's earthly or animal nature saying, hey, look, you're walking off a cliff. The Fool's like, don't worry, I have faith. This is my leap of faith. He's off into the great unknown. And usually what happens is anytime we start a venture, anything new, or if we're going any place new, we are the Fool. In the tarot, the Fool goes off and he meets each other card. And from each other card that he meets, he learns a little bit more about himself. First card that the Fool meets is the Magician. Master manipulator. And he can be very dangerous or he can be very useful. Now, we want to be in control of our own destinies, and we want to be the Magician. We want to be able to manifest our thoughts and ideas and, get that relationship, get that job. We want to know how to do it. We want to feel like we're in control. But there's a big difference. This guy will intimidate you. This guy will make you feel like, oh, I got to help him. So the Fool goes off. And he meets all these other cards that try to help him. Now the first one he meets is the Magician. Now look at the numbers at the top. The Fool up here is 0, Magician's 1. 0 is all about, it's everything and nothing. And number 1 is unity. And it's, these are the two numbers that in numerology or in Kabbalistic numerology, which I'm very fond of, represent the Godhead or the Great Spirit of the universe or however you want to see what's running the show, okay? Now when you come to number 0, that's the unknown. Let's put it this way. In numerology, number 1 is the individual person's conception of what their higher power is. The Fool says there's so much more that we don't understand. Okay? So 0 is always going to come before 1. But we work with what we know. And that's what the Magician's about. Okay? He's like, I know these things, I can make these things happen, I've done it before, and this is the formula. The Fool has faith. Faith is more than knowledge or wisdom or whatever. Faith is being open to all possibilities. It's like the saying, it's all good. And it is. as the fool goes around and meets all these cards, like I said, the first one he meets is a magician, and the magician is ruled by the planet Mercury. He's a communicator. Now, if you know anything about Mercury and Hermes, the gods, let alone the planets, Hermes was the god of travelers. He was the messenger of Zeus. He was the only god that went into Hades and conducted souls. He was a psychopompus. There was a lot of things. He was also, Mercury, Hermes was a god of liars and thieves. He was a messenger. He always had a grand plan that he was commissioned to do, but he couldn't tell everybody exactly what it was. So he would kind of like give little hints and stuff. And if you ever get a chance to look up any kind of mythology or any commentaries on Hermes and Mercury and what they're about, because that is the energy that rules the magician card. All right. Now with this card, the other thing is there's, in my mind, there's two kinds of magicians. There's the stage magician. He's the honest liar. He's the one that says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to trick you and you're going to love it. And that's pretty much why we go to see magicians, because we're like, how did he do that? And when we encounter a magician in our lives, a lot of times we're in awe, we're taken back, and we want to figure out what's going on. And that's part of the energy of this card. The other kind of magician is like a ceremonial or ritual magician. All right, he uses his mind and he manipulates himself to be whatever he needs to be to get the job done. How do I explain this? Well, the magician is someone that manipulates four elements, four earthly elements. Okay, fire, water, earth, and air. And as we go on, I'm going to speak more about what that is, especially when we get to the court cards and the number cards, because that's very important to understand the different elements. But what he does is he can control all of the four elements and use them in their levels and in his body. He can take the visions he has inside and manifest them outside. A magician is not necessarily a mystic. They don't always necessarily have like a strong faith and whatnot. They usually are reliant on what they know. Okay, their wisdom, their knowledge. A lot of times they have a lot of that, and they are really smart in certain areas. Okay, now the major arcanas are archetypes. So the magician can be moving in any single person. It can be happening in any person's life, and so can the fool. Like I said, with the fool, when we're off on a new journey, it's best to go off and set out on our goal without any expectations. Just have faith that as long as you keep moving forward, you'll get where you're going. The fool will ask questions. All right. Have you ever been with the older guys, grandpa and whatnot? He won't stop and ask directions. The fool will. All right. Magician won't. Magician thinks he knows the directions. All right, and that's kind of his downfall, is his lack of openness to new experience, because he's all about, I will manipulate this situation and make it work. Fool has faith that the universe will help him get where he needs to go. All right, and in all reality, this card contains all the rest of the major arcanas within. Okay, now I mentioned archetypes. Now an archetype is it's like a blind force that we all kind of run into. When we see someone acting a fool, or we see someone that has some kind of diminished capacity, there's an energy or a force that we feel compelled about. All right. Sometimes we'll feel sorry. Sometimes we shake our head and say, "What is he doing?" Sometimes we'll want to help. That's kind of like the fool archetype. So if he doesn't know what he's doing, he needs help, I feel compelled to help him. Nobody wants to help a magician, because a magician feels like he can help himself, and even if you offered him help, he probably wouldn't take it. He'd listen nicely, smile, nod, because they tend to be, they play with lies and truth. And he'd be like, okay, yeah, thanks, buddy. And then, like, he'd be, like, laughing at you behind your back once you leave. And that's the energy of the magician. And it's not all bad, really. The fool would deal more with the spiritual seeker. The magician is the earthly manifester. That's pretty much what's going on. The magician's in control, and he has a lot of power, and he's not always a bad guy. If you want to go into movies, I mean, there's wizards and stuff that you can think of. Gandalf. He's in control. He knows what's going on. And he's more like an enlightened magician. All right? Magicians tend to get to a point where they think they know everything and they don't want to learn anymore. So that's why their energy is so intense. When the magician archetype is around, that means it's time to take action, time to take control, and get the job done. Okay? When the fool archetype is active within you, it means it's time to just let go and just go off and smell the roses. It's very easy like that. Now, in tarot, you have upside down, right side up, okay? Not everybody likes to do that, but for me, I do actually read them upside down, because this fool is like the innocent child and wandering, and things are going good. He's letting go. He feels free. This fool is being foolish. He's being manipulated. He's being controlled. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's doing everything wrong. Okay? This magician is the professional you want to seek out to help you get something done. Whether it be an accountant or a doctor or whatnot. You want the best. And that's usually what this magician is. This magician is a no-good scoundrel that you don't want to deal with, because he'll just wreak havoc in your life. Does that make sense now? I just wanted to start. This is just my introductory video. I'm just playing with it, and I just want to, let you know what I plan on doing. My next video is going to be talking a little bit about the Priestess and the Empress, which are really interesting cards. Oh, and the other thing about this guy, he represents consciousness, focused consciousness, unconscious. Okay? He's all up here in the front of his mind, and very little meditation. We'll learn more about that with the Priestess. But anyways, welcome to the Psychic Times. My name's Robert, and this is my little Facebook page, and I have a newsletter that I would like you to subscribe to. I do psychic readings, tarot readings, and whatnot. And if you would like one, I will put where I work below. And right now I'm doing a lot of chat readings. And I work for a wonderful company called Kasamba. And I will put my link below this video, so you'll know where to go to have a chat with me. First 3 minutes are free. And what will happen is usually I'll need like 5 minutes to talk to you. The first 3 just so I can kind of connect, pull some cards, focus on your question. And then after that, we can go from there. And then usually my regulars will come back to me with like short questions. So it's not going to cost you too much. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. My Psychic Times newsletter is content I'm curating and throwing together a newsletter. And I plan on doing a show that is going to have guests come on. And we're going to talk about topics. We're going to like give some free readings, short free readings, so we can get to everybody. Like card of the day is another thing I want to do, where I'm just going to pull a card every day and talk about it. And I also, let's see, I'm a certified tarot professional. I am certified in dream analysis, and I am certified in astrology. Astrology I don't like to use in my chat readings. I mean, I will, but it's so in-depth that I usually will do that through email. So if you want to keep that in mind. But yeah, if you like this video, like it, share it, comment below. This particular series that I'm doing on the tarot is just the basics. I've got 3 parts, so it's like an onion. I'm going to give you the basics of each card, and that's going to be all 78 cards. Then after that, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into the symbolism behind it, and the colors and the numbers and everything like that, so that you get it's going to be beginner, intermediate, and advanced. My advanced class is going to be really cool because it's all about path working. First and foremost, I'm a Kabbalist. I'm an occultist. I love looking for the hidden things that make people tick. I love feeling the energies and seeing where things are going. And I just love helping people when they can't see these things. And I like helping people get there. Okay? So anyways, like, share, comment, check out my newsletter, subscribe. I will send you discounts and everything. And remember, if you want a reading, check the link below, because that's where you will find me, and you will get your first 3 minutes free. Might just get a whole free reading in 3 minutes. All right. Love and light, everybody. I will be talking to you later.